Hello, hello. Hey, Chew. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Westside. Hey, Doug. Actually, you were the third. Chew and Kevin were here before you. I don't know if they're still here. So how is everybody? I'm going to give it a few minutes. Let some more folks filter in, and then we'll get going.
No.
So anybody got anything interesting going on? Any cool plans for Halloween? Yeah, hopefully you guys can go a little while without any hurricanes. I think we're finally in. Hey, Bo. I think we're finally into cooler weather here. I think we just finally had our last 90-degree plus days. In the snow. I think I said something about they got snow in Hawaii. It doesn't happen all that often. Like up on the higher peaks. We get very rarely we get snow here, and usually when we do, it's in like February. Man, YouTube just has no idea who the heck, how many people are on right now. It's still saying there's only 2. But we know that ain't right. So if anybody was wondering, there's no update yet on the Richard Snow stream. I'll be catching up with him this week. And if we get anything else figured out, I will give you guys an update. I'm going to refresh my YouTube real quick. Give me a second. I was hoping maybe it would have caught up on how many people are actually on, but it did not. Now it's showing one person. I'm sure the places that just got wrecked by the two hurricanes are happy with some dry. I gotta be honest, I've never had a desire to go to Florida. Yeah, why not? If the fishing's good, go. So y'all think silver's gonna hit 35 bucks? It's been creeping close. So at 34.52 right now. High for the day was 34.54. Gold's creeping up on $3,000. God, I remember back, what was it, back pre-COVID, gold was like $1,200. Gold right now is $2,779. That's nuts. Think silver will dip a bit first, then back up past 35? Maybe. It's definitely on an uptrend. Hey, Moosox. All right, gonna give it 2 more minutes, then I'm gonna get my beginning stuff out the way. Hey, Dandy Dave. Well, when it goes up is when you sell it. When it goes down is when you buy it. That's why, if anybody's ever wondered, that's why I really don't do bullion. Is just because the margins on bullion are way too small. So if you buy bullion as a seller, if you want to really make anything real off of it, you basically have to buy it and then sit on it for 2 years. And hope that the trends continue. That's why I don't really deal in bullion. You buy some every Tuesdays, sometimes Thursdays. But it's not like bullion, though. You talked your aunt into buying over 50,000 in gold when it was 1,800 an ounce. She made it. Oh yeah, I would imagine. So granted, I mean, you're not going to sell it for melt. You're going to sell it for a couple, 100, 200 below melt, but still. At 1,800 an ounce, you probably paid $2,000 an ounce. So 25 ounces. That's usually the going thing. You buy it for 200 over. So if it was 25 ounces times what is it? Right now, if you sold it, it'd be like 1,500. Oh wait, no, I did the math on that wrong. 1,200 would be 1,400. So 50,000 divided by 1,400. So basically 35 ounces for easy math. So 35 times, if you sold it today, you'd be selling it for about 2,500. So 87,005. Yeah, I'd say that made out pretty well. For anybody new, payments made via PayPal. Use Cheapskate Coins at gmail.com and use goods and services only, please. We also have Cash App using the same email, Cheapskate Coins at gmail.com. If you use Cash App, it will say Louis Cachera. That's me. You're in the right place. Shipping is $6 to $23. $6 being the little purple bubble mailers, $23 being a large flat rate box. If you want your package sent registered, there's an additional $35 charge on top of that. Registered is the only way you can insure your coins through the mail, and you will have to sign for it when it gets there. So keep that in mind. We do whole packages, so you can fill them up if you want to maximize your shipping. So if you want, just shoot us an email. Again, cheapskatecoins at gmail.com, and tell us to add or hold on to your package. Wanting to make sure to remind everybody every week, we are getting into the holiday season, so lots of porch pirates. Make sure you keep an eye on those packages. If you need your tracking, just hit me up. Ask me for your tracking number. And then once you have that, you can also ask your post office to hold packages there so you can go pick it up. So if you want to be extra safe, I'd recommend do that. If you're new, you can't get stuff tonight. You just have to send an email by the end of the night. Email has to have your personal info, shipping info, channel name, which payment method you're going to use, and what email you use for that payment method for invoicing purposes. If we don't get that email by the end of the night, you will not get anything, and we never ship without payment. And always make sure that you look down in the description for all the rest of our policies. Find someone to come tonight or soon. Well, cool. The more the merrier. Here's our Facebook link. If you're on Facebook, go give us a follow. Tonight's lot list is on there. It is the top post. We do post the lot list up there every day we have a sale. We also have a mailing list. If you want to be on the mailing list, shoot me an email, cheapskatecoins@gmail.com, and say, add me to the mailing list. If you're on the mailing list, you will get the lot list a few days before every sale. Lately, it's been like 2 days before every sale. But once you get that lot list, you have the ability to pre-purchase items. Remember, it is first come, first served, just like the sale. So if you see something, don't wait, jump on it. We do not charge for pre-purchases right away. We don't charge until after the night of the sale, and then we invoice everybody together. And then, of course, when we post our lot list up on Facebook, anything that went in pre-sale has been removed. So what's on Facebook is what is available for the stream. And that's pretty much all we use the mailing list for, is just for doing the lot lists. And then if there's like, you know, if we're going to postpone a sale or, you know, something like that, then we'll send out notices through the email list. Other than that, we don't really use the email list for anything else. All right, let's get this thing going. So, kicking off tonight, we got a couple of albums. First one is a Whitman Dansko style half-dollar miscellaneous album, so you can put any half dollars in it you want. You can do a typeset, you can do whatever. I call it the Dansko style because these are the Whitmans that have the windows with the pull-out sleeves. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Holds 16 coins per page, so 64 coins total. And you can use it for whatever you want. Over 10 bucks. Anybody. Anybody that's been looking for World Coin albums, this would be a good one to use for a World Coin. Because it'll fit. I think Canada's half dollars will fit in there. Australia's half dollar. Some of them might be a little loose, but you can use it for quite a lot of stuff. All right, moving on. All right, and then the other one is the PCS stamping coin, 1983 to 2010 commemorative proof dollars. So the silver proofs. This is a nice album, guys. I dropped the price on this thing for tonight. So let me see if I can do this real quick. I'm going to flip the camera, so I apologize if I give anybody some motion sickness. Hello. So this is, it's got the case out, and then you slide the album itself out. And then of course you got, it's a 3-ring binder actually. And then it's got information about every coin in here on these pages. And then you get to the actual coin slots. So this is like, if you bought this thing brand new, this should be like a $40 album. I'm doing it for 10 bucks. Going to Bo. Bo, that's going to put you in a bigger box. Because of course the size of the album. Grazie. Alright, if anybody doing that $50 album, let me know. Start a new one, so it's fine. Okay. Alright, banknotes. Last week these all went in pre-sale, but this week they actually managed to make it to the stream. Banknotes tonight kicking off 1942. 1 centavo fractional. From Japanese Philippines. Going for $3. Anybody? Probably. Going to Dandy Dave. Congrats, sir. Right. Next up is the 1942 5 centavo fractional. Any takers? Going to Dandy Dave. Congrats, sir. Right. Next up, 1942 10 centavo. Anybody? Danny Dave both says you need to get the whole set. All right, go to Danny Dave. Danny Dave, here's the last one of the fractional set. 1942, 50 centavo. That'll give you the whole 42 fractional set. Going to Danny Dave. Danny Dave, if you end up needing a currency album, I do still have one left. Next up, we got two of these available. These might actually still be spendable. These are 2002 Trinidad and Tobago $1 notes. Going for $2 each. Got two available. All right, moving on to Brazil. Little Central Southern American. This is the 1986 and 87 10 Cruzados. This was right before they switched to the Cruzeiro instead of Cruzado. It's a 2-year design, going for $2. Or right after they switched from the Cruzeiro to the Cruzado. Which was basically the same thing, just they gave it a different name. All right, moving on. To the 1970 through 81 100 Cruzeiro. Over $2. Moving on. To the 1970 to 73 1 peso, Argentina. Over $2. A 4-year design for this one. Anybody? All right, moving on. Last banknotes is the 1991 Tolar, Republic of Slovenia. Going for $2. And this one is going to Bo. Finally found a banknote that Bo didn't have. Grats, Bo. All right. Next up, as I said, I've been making these kind of a normal thing these days. These are the 1 pound world coin bags for 15 bucks. If you get 3 or more, they're 12 bucks. These average anywhere between 80 and 100 coins per bag. I've got 3 on the list, but I can do a lot more than 3. This is just one example of a bag of coins. And the bin I got right now is up to I think at least 65 countries of different stuff in there. And here's another example of one. Bo's found silver out of these bags a couple of times. I'd say if you want to be nice, let me know what I missed, but... Anybody? Oh yeah, I'm going to keep them as a regular thing. I'm actually surprised we haven't had more interest in them, because I had a number of people that were asking to do these. And I'm doing them for like half price of what they're going for on eBay right now. Alright, moving on. If anybody decides you want some of those, let me know. We are moving on to World Silver. Kicking off World Silver tonight is the Netherlands. The first ones are small, so I'll switch to the scope. So y'all can actually see them. First one up. $19.27, 10 cents. 64% silver VF, $3. Hey, Alex. And you can get some very random countries in those things. Because we go through them too. We go through them and fill our books. We just got our first Azores coin out of the current mix that we have. And it's an old one. All right, moving on. Oh, nope, going to Doug. Congrats, Doug. If anybody's just starting out collecting on the world silver and you don't want to be out like spending an arm and a leg, Netherlands and Sweden are two good countries to go for because you can get a lot of their coins fairly cheap. Next up, 1937, 10 cents. This one's an EF for $4. I guess an argument on this one could be made for low AU, but I wanted to be safe, so I just left it at EF. But good deal at $4. All right, moving on to the 1941 10 cent EF for $4. Indeed. It is what it is. If you're the main admin on the page, you can always set me to auto approve. Or leave it. Either way. All good. Alright, moving on. To 25 centers. Netherlands quarters. Got a bunch of years of these today. If anybody wants to work on your Netherlands 25 cent collection. First one is 1902. Something about good. Going for $4. And going to Doug. Congrats, Doug. Yeah, I've been meaning to do that. I just keep forgetting. Next one, we got 2 available. Your 1903s. They're both in good at $4 each. One going to Doug. Doug, you were first, so there's Obverse number 1. There's Obverse number 2. Here's reverse number 1. And here's reverse number 2. Do you want number 1 or number 2? Since you were first. Or do you care? Number 2? All right. Anybody on the second one? Oh, very nice. It's a great country to get into. Plus, you also have the offshoots for if you collect Netherlands. There's the Netherlands Antilles and the Netherlands East Indies. $18.96, nice. That's a good coin. All right, next up. Oop, you put Doug's name on his. There we go. All right. Next up is 1915. Ain't it good for 4? 64% silver. It's kind of interesting because I usually have like one person that cleans up a lot of the Netherlands. Like for a while it was Paul Hampton. Lately it's been Doug. Going to Doug. So Doug's building up his now. Next up, 1925. This one's in a VG for $5. Going to Doug. Congrats, sir. Next up, 1926. This one's in a VF. NGC list on this one's $20. We're doing it for 10. $17.90s. Oh, nice. Oh, I can find somebody to let me keep a 1790s Goulden. That'd be awesome. Anybody? Going for half of list. They are. All right, moving on. Surprised nobody wanted that one. All right, last one is the 1928. This one's extremely fine, $6. That'd still be worth it for me, though. Just to get that beauty in my collection, heck yeah. Bundle the rest. Yeah, I can do that. I can knock $6 off the top. That drops all the $4 ones to $3 each, the 10 one to 8, and the 6 to 5. All right, rest of them go on to Doug. So that's 3, 3. Whoops. 3. 3. That one goes to 8. And that one to 5. All right. Cleaned out the Netherlands. Grazie. Hey, never be afraid to ask me for bundle deals. Or to make offers. You never know when I might say yes. The worst I could say is no, right? All right, next up, we got one coin from Australia. The land down under. Unless you live in Antarctica, in which case it's the land directly above you. 1944 S. Florin. I need the main overhead for this one. There we go. 925 sterling silver, extremely fine, $15. This is a good looking coin. It took me a while to determine if I wanted to go AU or EF on this one. I finally decided I didn't feel like there was enough luster left on the obverse. That's the only reason I made it an EF. So somebody else's opinion, because you can still see the luster cartwheeling on the edge. So somebody else might call that an AU. Watching Van Helsing. The Hugh Jackman one or the other one? The older one. Any takers? The older one was Vincent Price, right? The older one. Come on, interwebs, work. So current melt value on these things right now, with the new higher silver prices, is $11.60 just in melt. So this is $3.40 over melt. All right, moving on. Didn't mean to just chuck it. All right, next up, Mexico. So the 1890L went in pre-sale, as did the 1964 BU 1 peso. So the first one for Mexico today is the 1962 1 peso, 10% silver, VF for $3. Let's see what melt on these is right now. Just out of curiosity. 621 peso, Mexico. Current melt on this, $1.78. Just in melt. Hey, that was a guess. That was a pretty darn good guess. Yeah, I looked on NGC to see what the current to the, real time to the second melt value was. Anybody $3? All right, moving on to the 1968 25 pesos, 72% silver, BU proof like. Check that frostiness out. $25. Going to Jags fan. How you doing, Jags fan? And Doug's taking the 62. You got it, Doug. All right, next up. This is only like the second time I've ever had one of these available. This is the 1952 5 shilling from South Africa. 50% silver BU. $22. It's a very cool coin. Got that awesome tall masted ship on the back. Pretty good one for you, Aaron. Oh, Dandy Dave grabbed it. Oh, and a Dandy Dave. Grat, sir. Yeah, Aaron loves the ones, anything with the boats on them. He loves them. All right, next up is one of our showcase coins for the evening. Pretty much kind of is the showcase coin. Oh, he didn't speak up at all, so it's yours. So we're going to Canada. It is the 1917 10 cents. 925 sterling silver. It is a beautiful BU. It is a beautiful, it's got this awesome gold patina on it. NGC list on this coin is $125. I'm doing it for $60. Check that out. And going to Jags fan. Congrats. That is an awesome coin, Jags. I'm actually kind of jealous. I wish I could have kept that one. All right. So 1938 and 47, 10 cent went in pre-sale, as did the 40 and 46 quarter. So we are on to the 1964 25 cent. 80% silver, extremely fine, $6. These are pretty much right now at like just over melt. The melt on these right now is what, like $5.75, something like that. Let me see. 25 cent, Canada. Current melt price as of the, oh, I was close. $5.17. So that's less than $1 over melt. Anybody? The rate silver prices are going, that'd be good just to throw in a silver pile. If nothing else. Or you build up a roll. All right, moving on. To the 1961 50 center. Canadian half dollar. 80% silver, AU. $12. Going to Doug. Congrats, Doug. And then 1965, 50 cent. Beautiful BU, $15. That is shiny. Oh. Reverse is almost proof-like. Pretty much is proof-like. Anybody? All right, moving on. Oh, going to Danny Dave. Congrats, sir. All right. Next up is pretty much the most in-demand Canadian dollar there is. And we have two of them available. One's a BU, one's an AU. These are the 1958 death dollars. The BU is 35, the AU is 28. Called the Death Dollar because this is the one that's got the death totem on the back. Dandy Day has been in the BU. Congrats, sir. Here's the AU. AU's got some toning going on. Anybody on the AU for 28? Anybody? All right, moving on. Get out of my way. There we go. Next up, also two available. This is the 1961 Canadian dollar. We've got one AU and one BU. AU is 22 bucks. BU is 25. Here's the AU. And here is the BU. Anybody? All right, moving on. To the 1965 proof. 80% silver proof. 25 bucks. We've also got the 1965 Blunt 5 small beads in a BU proof-like for 28. If anybody wants both, so you have the proof and the BU proof-like for that type, I'll give you $3 off, make it 30 bucks even. Or 60 bucks. 50 bucks. There we go. Math. There we go. 50 bucks for both. $3 off if anybody gets both. Actually, you know what? I'm in a good mood today. I'll do you a little better. 48 bucks if anybody gets both. I'll give you $5 off. That makes them 24 bucks each. So you got the BU proof like and you got the actual proof. It's almost kind of hard to tell the difference. The only way you can tell is this one's got the mirror. This one's got the cartwheel. That is very proof-like. All right, moving on. Man, that was a good deal. I'm surprised nobody took that. All right, last country for the night for World Silver is Britain. Kicking off with a very, very old coin that, granted, was turned into a piece of jewelry. But still, very rare you're going to run into one of these. There's not a lot of these things left out there. And the only reason it's this cheap is because it was turned into a piece of jewelry. Otherwise, it would be far more expensive. This is the 1838 silver penny. 925 sterling silver. Go for $10. I think it's closing in on 200 years old. And going to Doug. Congrats, sir. Let me guess, Christmas ornament? Be interesting to see your tree someday. When you set it up, you need to like send a picture of it with all those coins on it. I'll use it as my stream photo for a day. Next up, 1941, 1 shilling. 50% silver, extremely fine, $5. Anybody? All right, moving on. Less cats with lightsabers. You don't like my kitties? What's wrong with my kitties? Next up, 1923, 1 florin. 50% silver, VG, $8. All right, moving on to the 1936 half crown. 50% silver, extremely fine. Check that out. That is a good looking coin. 15 bucks. That is a good looking half crown. Wow, nobody. I'm amazed nobody's been wanting half crowns lately. I have a bunch of these things in of different dates right now. Alright, moving on. And the last silver world coin of the night, 1943 half crown. VF, 12 bucks. Alright, moving on. Alright, if anybody decides you want any more of that world stuff, let me know. Alright, before we get into the US stuff, remember I told you that we just recently added the loose world stuff. Just got our first Azores coin and it is really old. I grabbed it out so you guys can see it. Check this out, 1795. This is a 20 rise from the Azores. Has a giant copper coin. This is in a dollar holder. It's in a pour, but there was enough of it there that we were able to get it all identified. That thing is awesome. So this is the only Azores coin we own. And then we also got this one recently too. I just labeled this one up yesterday or the day before. 1854 5 centimes, France. Hey Mandy, welcome. Glad to have you. 230 years, well, 1795, 18, 1990, 2015. Yeah, next year it'll be 230 years. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys. All right, U.S. coinage. All right, first one. Honestly, I probably have this thing underpriced. So if somebody doesn't jump on this, I'm going to be amazed. This is called the World War I Lincoln Penny Collection. It's 5 coins for $6. So the dates on this the scope. Yeah. All right, you got 1914. Let me bring it down so there's less glare. And you move past the glare point. Here we go. 1914 plain date. 1915 plain date. That is 1916 plain date, I believe. $1917. And 1918. Going for $6. I remember one of these having a mint mark on them, but I guess not. Going to Danny Dave. Congrats, sir. All right. All right, next up, got some Lincoln proofs going on tonight. First one, 1960 small date. Gem proof going for $8. This is the harder one to get. I'm gonna bring this thing up real quick. Modern proofs. Kappa. All right. Proof red. So if this thing were to score a 66, it would be worth $26. At 67, it would be worth $34. At 68, it would be $65. And then the highest for a gem proof is 69, would be $625. That's not even getting into cameo or deep cameo. So that's what you're looking at with this coin right here. Anybody? I can't see this thing getting lower than a 66, which means it's a minimum $26 coin. Going for $8. All right, moving on. I just realized I had a mistake on my list. I'm fixing it real quick. Give me a sec. All right. All right, the next bunch, these are all basic proofs that are $2 each, so I'm just going to link them all real quick and then I'll show them. We got 61, 62, 63, 4, and then we got to jump to 1998. These are now proof decams. 2007. 2008. And 2019. There's the 61. 62. 63. Mandy Dave wants to know what your favorite coins are. 64, if you're willing to share. 98 decam. 2007 decam. 08 decam. And the 19 decam. $2 a piece. Anybody? If anybody wants all 8, I'll do it for $12. That knocks $4 off as a bundle. It's $1.50 a coin for proofs. Man, even at $1.50 each, nobody wants them. All right, moving on. Next up is the 2019 West Point reverse proof. Over $18. If you've never had a reverse proof in your collection or a West Point coin in your collection, this is a good one. The old W mint mark. Wow, nobody. All right. Some Lincoln haters going on here, I guess. And the last one, 2020. Approved decam, $2. If anybody wants every single one of them, including the West Point and the small date, I'll go $33. And Doug is taking that bundle. Congrats, sir. All right, so that makes all the $2 ones are now $1.50. Give me a sec. I gotta fix every single one of these real quick. All right, that makes the $8 one now $6. The $18 West Point is now $14.50. All right, there we go. All right. Next up, we got one 2-center going out tonight. It is the 1864 large motto. It is in a VG. It does unfortunately have a filled hole, which is why it's only $10. If that filled hole wasn't there at a VG, this would be like $35, something like that. Interesting fact I always like to throw out about the 2-cent coins. There are less surviving specimens of the 2-center for all years. Which was what, like 8-10 years that they made them? Than there is for the 1931 S wheat cent. That's how few of these things are still out there. And it's fun to mess with people's head. Showing them a 2-center. Because most people don't realize we ever had them. Yeah, you scope it. So that's the filled hole right there. That was commonplace for coins back then because they would tie them to their clothes so they didn't lose them. They tie them into a jacket or whatever. Some people like that. They think it gives it more history. Going to Dandy Dave. Gratzer. Might as well leave it on there. Alright, next up. Got a couple of the nickel 3 centers, not the silver ones. These are the nickel ones. We got the 1865 in VG. It is unfortunately bent, which is why it's only 10 bucks. It's got a little bend right down here at the bottom. Anybody? And then we've also got the same one in a VF. Which is 40 bucks. There's the VF version. Oh, that's got a sealed hole. I did not realize that at the time. All right, I did not notice when I first did this that it's got a closed hole. So I'm going to drop this one to 25 for the VF. Anybody? A VF with a closed hole for 25 or a VG that's got a bit of a bend in it for 10 bucks. Anybody wants both? I'll do both for 30. Give them to some kids. Get kids into collecting. Make it Christmas gifts for some kids. Kids or grandkids. Going to Dandy Dave for the deal for both. Gratzer. All right, got another coin coming up that's also hold, but it's a semi-key date. $1891 V-nickel. Going for $4. Here you go, Doug. How about a semi-key date hanging on your tree? Go to Doug. Gratzer. I just had this funny thought of somebody giving Doug the money doesn't grow on trees while his Christmas tree is set up and they're standing right in front of it. Well, like I said, back in the 1800s, they used to do that so they could tie it into their clothes so they wouldn't lose it. Or they give them, you know, to people as gifts, like, you know, on a piece of string as a necklace. You know, that those coins had a lot more value back then than what we think about now. That V nickel in a pinch would feed you for a day back when it was minted. All right, next up, these are the proof nickels for the Westward Journey series. The Peace Metal, Keelboat, Ocean in View, and American Bison. They're $4 or $2 each. Or $6 for all four. Saves you $2 if you get all four. So there's the Peace Metal. Keelboat. Ocean in View. And American Bison. Going to Doug. Grat, sir. Taking the bundle. Doug's getting all the bundle deals tonight. All right, next up. The 2020 Proof Decam. San Francisco Mint, going for $2. We've also got from 2020 the West Point Reverse Proof. Going for 18. If anybody wants them both to keep them as a set, I'll do 18 for both. So basically you're getting a buy one, get one free. Anybody? moving on. And the last of the nickel proofs, 2021. Proof decam, $2. Anybody? All right, moving on. If anybody decides you want the rest of those nickels, let me know. All right, half dimes went in pre-sale. As you might have guessed, since we skipped over them. We are now on to barber dimes. We have 2 barber dimes tonight. Got the 1903 in good for $6. Anybody? All right, moving on. Then we also got the 1912. Also in good for $6. If anybody wants both, I'll do both for 10. Give you $2 off. And Dandy Dave's taking the deal. Gratzer. All right, next up. All right, so current silver melt on the next lot. Just the melt value alone is $87.22. So this is 13 Standing Liberty quarters and 1 Barber quarter. That don't have the dates. Here's the 1 Barber. I'd like 110 on this. I do have a little bit of wiggle room. I'm basically just selling it as junk silver. So here, let's see. Here's my best price on it. I can go 98 bucks on it. That's my absolute best price I can do on it. Again, remember, it's $87.22 just in melt. As of right this second. If silver goes up even one more dollar in melt, that means that the melt value on these will be sitting at $100. Man, nobody looking to stock up silver, huh? All right. Next time you guys see that lot, it might be more expensive if silver keeps going up. All right, next up, we got actual barber quarters. The 1994 is, or 1894 rather, is sold. It wasn't pre-sale. But first one is the 1892 in good. Over 10 bucks. Very first year of the barber quarters right there. $1891, they were seated liberties. Anybody? All right, moving on. Oh, going to Danny Dave. All right, next up, 1897. Good for 10 bucks. All right, moving on to the 1902. We have two of them. One is about good for 8 bucks, and then one is in good for 10 bucks. There's the AG. Get a little more wear on that thing. You might be able to get a low ball on that. If anybody doesn't know what a low ball is, here's the good. There are a group of collectors out there that are trying to get, big collections built up of coins that are graded a poor 1. And what that's done to the market over the years, it makes it where a coin that's in a poor 1 may very well be worth more than a coin that's in a good 4. Anybody on either of these? That's why if you're ever looking at the price guides online, you might notice that it goes down into the pours and then suddenly the price jumps. That's why. All right, moving on. All right, 1907 through 14 went in pre-sale, so the last one of these tonight is the 1916 Denver. This one's in a VG for 12. Little tiny Denver mint marker right there. All right, moving on. No love for barber quarters right now, I guess. Next up, Standing Liberty quarters. All right, first one, I got 4 available. These are all 1927s, and they're all in good. At $8 each. Here's number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Anybody? $8 a piece. All right, moving on. Next one, we got 2 available. These are 1928s. They're both in good. 16 barber going to Dandy Dave. You got it, sir. All right, so these are $8 a piece. They're both goods. All right, moving on. And the last of these is the 29. In good, also $8. And I'm going to step away for a moment. Angela's going to jump in for a moment so everybody can say hi to Angela. I'll be back.
Hello, guys. Last call on this one. Alright, moving on. If anybody else wants any of those, just let us know. Last quarter of the night. So it's coming up soon. Which is a 1964 25 cent 90% silver NGC PF 66 going for 20. My words are not working well with me today. Anybody? Last call. Alright, moving on. If anybody decides that you want that, just let us know. Next up, we are going to be moving into Barber half dollars. $18.97 Barber half dollar, 90% silver. In good, $18. Anyone? Last call on this one. Alright, moving on to the 1906 Barber half dollar, 90% silver in good, going for 18. All right, moving on to the 1907 Barber half dollar, 90% silver, and good, $18. And then we also too have the 1907D for $18 as well, in a good. So you potentially get the 2 of the coins from this series. All right, moving on. If anybody wants either one of those, let me know.
Man, no love for Barber has.
Next up, we have 2 of these available. $1908 O's Barber half dollars, 90% silver, and good, $18. Here is number 1, and here is number 2. And the element mark is right there on both of them. Last call on these. All right, moving on. If anybody decides that you guys want either one of those, just let me know. We are moving on to the 1909 S Barber half dollar. 90% silver and good. It does have scratches on it, so it's going for 15. Last call. All right, moving on. Next up is 1912 D. This one's in a good, 90% silver. $18. Alright, moving on. If anybody decides that you want that later, just let me know. Alright, 1915. Barber half dollar. 90% silver. In good. NGC list is $60. Going for 30. Last call, guys. Alright, moving on. If anybody decides that you want any of the Barber half dollars, just let me know. Alright, we are moving on to Walking Liberties. To the 1936 Walking Liberty half dollar in VF. 90% silver and $18. I guess no one's interested in half dollars tonight. Alright, moving on.
I was really interested in American coins tonight.
To 1940S Walking Liberty. Half dollar, 90% silver, VF, 18.
That's another one I've been having people ask me, when are you going to get walkers in again? When are you going to get walkers in again?
Well, we have to. Last call. Alright, moving on. If anybody decides that you want any of the walkers, just let us know. Alright, we are moving on to a 1962 Franklin half dollar. AU, 90% silver, $16. And Lewis is going to take back over.
Alright, I am back. All right, moving on. Next up, we are on to clad commemorative half dollars. Starting off with the 1991 San Francisco Mount Rushmore proof. Go for $10. Anybody? There are 4 people that are left on. Oops. All right, moving on to the 1991 Philadelphia World War II commemorative half. Over $10. All right, moving on to the 1992 San Francisco Columbus commemorative. Over $10. So I'm showing only 2 more people on. If you're still on, say something in chat. Moose Socks is still there. Moose Socks, I'll be asking you, Rick, about the 1857 Flying Eagle you asked about. All right, moving on. You said AU-ish, right? All right, next up, we got some BU Silver Ikes. These are the 40% silver Eisenhower dollars. We have one of every year, and they're $12 each. So you got 71, 72, 73, 74, 76. So there's a 71. Again, these are all 40% silver. 72. 73. 74. And 76. If anybody wants all 5, I will do all 5 for 50 bucks. Saves you $10. And Doug's taking that deal. Grazie. All right, last 3 lots, actually last 2 lots of the night because the Congress one went in pre-sale. Got a couple of silver commemorative proof dollars. First one is 1991 San Francisco Mount Rushmore. 90% silver. I don't know why it says Jim BU on it. It's not. This is a proof. Proof decam. Let me fix that. There we go. Now it's right. All right, moving on. Last lot of the night. Is the 1992 Philadelphia Columbus. 90% silver proof decam. 28 bucks. Kind of an interesting thing. You got the sail ship for half of it, and then the Columbia space shuttle for the other half. Kind of different. Yeah, it is actually pretty cool. All right, recap. Banknotes, we still got the Trinidad and Tobago's. Those are both $2,002 $1. We have the Cruzeiro, or 10 Cruzados Brazil, and the 100 Cruzados Brazil, and the 1 peso Argentina. Anybody on those?
Or want to see them again?
Or for the first time if you missed it. All right, we still got the 1 pound world coin bags. Again, those are 15 bucks each, or unless you get 3 or more. If you get 3 or more, then they're 12 bucks each. All right, World Silver 1944 S Florin is still available. That's for Australia. 925 sterling silver EF, 15 bucks. Let me just link the world silvers. It'll be easier. So we got that one. And then from Canada, we got that one. We still got the AU toned death dollar. We still got both 61s, AU and BU. And then the 65 proof. And the 65 blunt 5 small beads, BU proof like. And I did a deal on the 65s. If anybody wanted both of them, I do it for 50 bucks.
Anybody on those?
And then Britain. If anybody wants to know about bundles, feel free to ask. For these and the American. There's everything for World Silver that's still available. Jags fan is bidding the Rushmore and the Columbus. Dollars. You got it, sir. All right, last call on World Silver. All right, nickels. We only had 3 left. We have both the 2020s, the San Francisco, and the West Point reverse proof. I said if anybody bought both of those together, that I'll just do both of them for 18 bucks. 3 a.m. get up. Ugh. And then we've also got the 21. We still got the bag of the junk silver quarters. I actually did that. I dropped it down for to 98 bucks for that. It's just the melt value on that bag alone is like 87 and change or something like that. Anybody on any of that stuff so far? Just a nice bag of junk silver to put away. Like I said, if silver goes up $1 more, you will have bought these for under melt. The 20S and the 21S for $3. Yeah, I can do that.
Got, sir.
All right, so the only nickel left is the reverse proof. So I'm still amazed nobody's grabbed. All right, barber quarters. We still got the 97, the 02, both 02s. That's it. All right, Standing Liberty quarters, they're all still available. There's 27s, 28s, and a 29. And then we've still got the slabbed Washington quarter. And then all the barbers, all the walkers.
And the Franklin.
The Franklin, and all three of the commemoratives for the $50.
And that's it.
Like I said, if anybody wants to know about bundle deals, last call on everything. Alright, I'm getting out of here then, guys. Everybody thanks for coming out. As always, give us a bit to get invoices out. Hey, everybody, have a great night.
Bye.